Hello and welcome into this week's reading vlog. I am really excited but also a little bit scared. I am challenging myself for in the next couple of days. It is currently September 23rd. My goal for this vlog, as you probably saw by the title, is I want to finish my September TBR. And I have 4 long books that I need to finish to do it. Where did my paper go? I found it. Okay, so this was my September TBR. Can you see that? Probably. I have so far completed 3 of them because there's one that's not listed on here because I wrote this after I'd already read it. So I still need to read Words of Radiance, Edge Dancer, Ninth House, The Raven Scholar, and if I have time, The Grace Year. That's like bottom priority though, to be honest. That's my book club's pick of the month. I'd love to go, but these others take precedence. My plans for the week are to read pretty much as possible and hope that I can finish this month's TBR. The Raven Scholar is the one I'm most worried about because it is of the 4, I guess 5, but I'm not counting Edge Dancer right now. Of the 4 though that I am like kind of working my way through, it's the only one I don't have an audiobook for. Which you're thinking probably, maybe. It's not a big deal. To me, it's a big deal because that's how I read faster as I immersion read. And I know it's not a race, but for me it is. But anywho, I started Ninth House yesterday. So far, I'm literally obsessed. Basically, this book is like about a lady who can see ghosts and she gets recruited by a secret society at Yale to help them. I think they perform like rituals on the dead. Well, technically these people are living, but they use the living people to talk to the dead, if I understand right. And since she can see the ghosts, she is there kind of as like a liaison for them to talk. And so far I am fully obsessed. Like literally was Googling if the map of Yale that's in here is the actual accurate map, and also was low-key planning a trip to Yale. Like I'm down bad. This book is so good so far. Our main characters' names are Darlington and Galaxy. She goes by Alex though, and I love them. I am fully down bad obsessed. This is my best friend's favorite book of all time, and I'm so happy I'm finally reading it. She and I have been texting so much. I am currently 114 pages in, which according to my audiobook timer, like the way Audible will say, you know, you have this many hours left, I have about 5 hours remaining if I keep up the 2.5 audiobook speed for this. So I definitely think I can finish this today. I'm working from home. It is currently Tuesday, September 23rd. So I do think I can finish this today. My other books, I'm also working my way through Noticadia. Again, I have this on Audible. The audiobook says I have about 6.5 hours remaining. This one is kind of, again, kind of bottom priority. I've already started it. I literally started it back in August and I still haven't finished it. I'm loving it so far, but because it's a book club book, those kind of fall under optional. Like everything else is stuff that I want to read. Book club books, I kind of view them as like bonus books. If I finish them, awesome. If I don't, oh well. That being said, this one is super seasonally accurate. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it is super seasonal, so I wouldn't mind finishing it. Basically, it's about a girl. It's very similar to Ninth House, actually, kind of a little bit, because it's about a girl. She gets recruited for this college to help them research a disease that her mother died of. It's like a very mysterious, like kind of magical disease there's not a ton known about it. And she writes an essay about the way her mother dies because no one believes her. So she makes like a creative writing essay basically saying like, oh yeah, it's fake. But then the college like finds out and they're like, no, this isn't fake, we need you to come help us. So it's dual POV. It follows our FMC, the one that wrote the essay, and then there is Dr. Death, I think is what they call him, and he is one of the professors at the academy. I am like literally only 12% through. I haven't even had them like interact yet, but so far I am liking it. It is way like creepier than I thought it would be, but it is really good. Raven Scholar, this is a big book, okay? I have only read 37 pages so far, and I really am liking it. It's just there's something about picking up this book to physically read when I know I still have Words of Radiance that I need to read. Like, that is like a non-negotiable for me this September. There's just something that's making me not want to pick this up, but I'm hoping that with this challenge this week, I will get through this. Basically, the Raven Scholar is, I've heard it described as Harry Potter meets, I can't remember what Harry Potter meets, but basically we follow this girl. There's like a maybe Hunger Games? Basically this girl lives, she is a raven. There are different like houses, I guess. Like there's the ravens, the foxes, the monkeys, the bears, I think is one of them. But there are different houses, and our main character is a raven, and every 25 years, I think it is, the houses compete to be the next emperor. They like send someone to compete in these trials, and from what I understand, each trial is based off the different houses, so you're gonna do really well at some trials and you won't at others, supposedly. Time for a new emperor to be chosen. Our main character is doing that, but she's also solving some sort of murder mystery. So it's like murder mystery, houses, academia kind of, trials. Hi, Mustang. Okay. Thank you. But anywho, yeah, so I'm really excited to read to read more of this one. It's supposed to be really, really good. I've heard nothing but great things about it. Oh, what? I've heard nothing but great things about it so far. I just haven't really picked it up yet. So you want in here too? Come here. Ah! Okay. What I was saying is, I've heard really, really good things. I just haven't read it yet. I haven't really had the time or the energy or the motivation. There's something about reading a book strictly with my eyeballs that like, it kind of turns me off to reading it. Yeah, like I just like having my options open. I like having access to the audiobook if I'd like it. And unless I use my Spotify hours, I don't have the Raven Scholar. I guess I could buy it on, I do have 2 credits technically I could use on Audible that I could use. So he's always here too, don't worry. Mwah. Sweet baby, you want your bone back? Okay, good girl. Anywho, last but certainly not least, I am really, really, really hoping I can finish Words of Radiance this week. I am currently 300 pages in out of like over 1,000. So this is gonna be definitely the hardest challenge, but I do think it's doable if I set my mind to it. This is one of those books that like, it's just a lot to digest, and I really want to read my spooky read books, so it's hard for me to like prioritize reading this when I also want to read this. It's like it's a double whammy, what can I say? All the other ones, if I don't finish them by September, oh well. But anywho, that's the point of this video. We're gonna challenge ourselves and we're gonna do it. So let's get started. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with 9th house because like I said, if I really set my mind to it, I do think I could finish this whole book today. I am also eating it up, so. But it is 11:45. I am going to go make my lunch and then I will get to reading. Her bone chewing is so loud, I'm so sorry. Anywho, what I was saying is I also really, really want to decorate for fall. My husband is out of town the next 2 days, so I have the house to myself again, but that's okay. He's always on work trips, it seems like. My chicken nuggets are ready. Anywho, what I was saying is I would really, really like to decorate for fall these next couple of days as well. So there is a chance that I will start an additional audiobook because I also really want to read Project Hail Mary as soon as possible, and that one I've heard is best on audio, so there is a really good chance that for the next couple of days while I'm cleaning, cooking, doing errands, driving myself to and from work, etc., I will also start Project Hail Mary because I think that one would be great on audio, obviously, and these other ones I kind of want to do immersion reading. So there will also probably be another book thrown in here. I guess we'll just have to see what happens, huh? Okay, so I just read another chapter of 9th house. The chapter that I just finished was literally crazy. We learned so much about Alex and her backstory, and I'm literally sitting here screaming. I understand why so many people don't like this book. There's definitely trigger warnings, be sure to check them, but I think that this story is so important, and I really respect Leigh Bardugo for writing it, and I feel really bad for our girl Alex. Yeah, that chapter was crazy. Also, I have a confession. I really want to go to Barnes & Noble. Do I need new books? Absolutely not. But do I really want to go look? Absolutely. The new releases these past couple of months have been banger, okay? Like, absolutely killing it. And I just fear I need to go look, even if I don't get anything. That being said, there is a book I really, really want. I'll put a cover right here. It's If It Makes You Happy by Julia Owens or something like that. The cover is literally my husband, my dog, and I really want us to recreate that cover this fall. I think that'd be so fun. But also, if you look at my hand, I have a blister, so don't mind that. But anywho, I just thought I'd update you guys. If we go shopping later, don't be surprised. Okay, I'm at Barnes & Noble. Let's look at some of the new releases. It's time for Barnes & Noble. Obviously, had to check out a book I eye every time I go in. Really want to read this, but holding off. Obviously had to say hello to Alchemized. It just released today, and The Academy. I've never read an Ellen Hildebrand, though, so let me know. A couple of these books kind of interest me, but also they still have a couple of Night in the Moths, which I think is kind of crazy. This was a signed book for some discount, which I think is kind of crazy, actually. I got an arc of this book. Still haven't read it though, LOL. Also, I loved If We Were Villains. Oh, also, okay, I need some opinions. Should I get the first Dungeon Crawler Carl or my favorite Dungeon Crawler Carl if I was potentially going to meet Matt Dinniman? Also, really kind of want to read City of Bones. Yeah, Emmy is really, she influenced me. But anywho, this is me desperately trying to find the book I was talking about. I cannot find it anywhere. I'm like starting to be convinced that they don't have it. And then here in a second, we're gonna find it. We're gonna find the only copy that they had in this whole store. Oh, I also have to say hello to my babies every time I go in. Duh. This is one of the books I got. Spoiler, I'm currently reading Ninth House, obviously. And then, we found it. I was looking everywhere for this book and I could not find it. This is another book I had an arc for. Still haven't read it, but the cover in person is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. But anyhow, okay, and guys, look at this book. Is that not like one of the coolest sprayed edges you've ever seen in your whole life? Because I fear it's one of the coolest I've ever seen. Also, still debating on Alchemized. Yeah, Okay, I'm back in my car. I have you guys literally in my steering wheel. That's what this little part is. I have my puppers with me. I thought I'd do a really quick haul. Also, before y'all come for me about my dogs in the cart, they love going on car rides. Also, it's literally like 70 degrees outside and my windows were rolled down and I was only in there for about 15 minutes. So, don't come for me. But, do you want to show them what I bought? Zoe. Do you guys want to show them what I bought? Ow, Mustang, ow. Okay, get back. As the angle is so ghetto, I left my tripod at the house on accident. But, anyhow, first I bought Hellbent. I am currently reading Ninth House and I am loving it. I'm about 150 pages in, I think. And, you know, there's just no way I couldn't buy this. My literal only fear, though, is once this new book comes out, hopefully soon, it's going to be in hardcover only, and I have both paperbacks, but since I'm reading it and loving it, I figured I might as well go ahead and pick this one up so I can hopefully read it pretty soon. And then I picked up a new release. I actually got the last one that my store had, and I almost didn't find it. Like, it was kind of hidden. Usually they have new releases like on a table, but I'm guessing this one wasn't super popular because it wasn't on a table and they only had the one copy. But I picked up the second Death of Locke. This cover, I saw it on NetGalley a couple months ago. I think this cover is literally gorgeous. It's basically about a lady knight and her story protecting her mage. And yeah, I don't know. I applied for it on NetGalley and didn't get it, and I was really sad. Oh, there's like little pictures in here. That's cool. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Don't think I'll get to it necessarily anytime soon, but I might have to move this up on the TBR priority, to be honest. Anywho, went in for this. I debated getting Alchemized, but I like genuinely don't think I'll read it. I told myself I wasn't going to read Manacled because I was waiting for a physical copy, and I didn't want to buy fan fiction because, you know, you don't do that, and I don't know how to bind books, so I didn't want to figure that out. But now that Alchemized is out, I don't know that I'm interested, especially with it being over 1,000 pages. That's literally crazy. I say that as someone who's read Brandon Sanderson, by the way, but I think that's what I'm gonna kind of sit and marinate on. We'll see how I'm feeling here in a couple weeks. It's like not a super priority. It's one that like I maybe wouldn't mind finding secondhand, but I don't know that I need it today on release day. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. I've never really... Okay, let me preface this by saying I know it's like a rewritten story. It stands on its own. But part of my issue is I've never once shipped Draco and Hermione. And the fact that it's their story technically, I don't know. So, if you've read it, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I would like it, and maybe I'll pick it up. The Dancing with the Stars premiere is in 1 hour too. So I kind of want to go home and make some dinner. And then watch that. And then we'll read on the commercial breaks, because I told myself I'd finish Ninth House today, and you know what we haven't done? Finish Ninth House, so. Mustang. Anywho, I just thought I'd share my Barnes & Noble trip with you guys. I'm coming back on here to report that, change plans. My goal today was to finish Ninth House. I only read up to 162, so I read like 40-ish pages today, which is still really good, but my goal was to finish this, so I'm a little disappointed. That being said, I do think I can power through tomorrow. Originally the plan was I was going to read this today, like off and on while I was working, and then tonight, like around the Dancing with the Stars not premiere, because it premiered last week, but the episode, I guess. But I mentioned in an earlier clip when I was out shopping that my house was so hot and I couldn't figure out why. Turned out my HVAC broke, so spent a majority of the evening with one of my friends trying to fix that, and then watched Dancing with the Stars. And now it's 10 p.m. because it took me so long to watch Dancing with the Stars that I just haven't read as much of this as I would have liked. I do think that I will go ahead and read some more tonight, though. I'm not necessarily tired yet. But it really sucks because I really wanted to finish this today. But like I said way earlier, reading is not a race. It's just, that was the goal. I'm loving this so much that I wanted to finish it in a kind of timely manner. But yeah, I think because my HVAC is broken, there's a chance I will work from home again tomorrow. So maybe I'll get a ton of reading done. But either way, things took a turn for the worse, to say the least. And my dogs and I might sleep out here in the living room because our room out here is kind of cold. But it just sucks when things break. I feel like every time my husband goes out of town, something breaks, and I'm over it. Last time it was my computer. This time it's the AC. Luckily though, it's starting to become fall here in Texas, so the low tonight is 50 and the high tomorrow is 70. So luckily it's not like the middle of July or something, and my friend and I think we can buy the part and fix it. But yeah, just kind of bummed both about my house and my lack of reading today. But anywho, tomorrow is a new day and I'm feeling good about tomorrow. I think tomorrow has the potential to have some real page turners. Oh, also I made a sourdough loaf today for the first time in a long time. First, I revived my starter. Phenomenal. So proud of myself. Second, it tasted so good. For my birthday, my mother-in-law got me a new Dutch oven and it worked phenomenally, and I am so thankful and happy. My old one, like, you know, a Dutch oven usually is like this. My old one had a lip, so I'd have to like crush the loaf to get it out, and because of that it never would set right, because when you make a loaf of bread you're supposed to let it like rest for a little bit before you cut into it, but obviously to get it out I'd have to break it, and just, yeah, and it just, having one where I could literally just right out of the container, y'all don't understand how happy that makes me. But yeah, I will update you tomorrow with how much reading we get done. I will say though, I'm starting to feel a little pessimistic about if I can finish my TBR in time. This week is just so busy. For what? Like, why can't I just sit around and read, huh? I had so much fun buying books at the library and at Barnes & Noble and finishing a book. And now I gotta figure out where the frick to put these. So let's add these to the shelf. Hello friends, it is the next day. I did not read today, like literally at all, but you know what? It is okay. I didn't sleep super well since our AC is broken, but tonight, it is 6 p.m. I did a little bit of picking up and I'm now ready. I really want to color in my coloring book, so I think I'm gonna put on an audiobook. I might listen to Noticadia, I think. And I'm gonna listen to that for maybe like an hour and then make myself dinner. And then we're gonna lock the freak in. We're gonna read. I can't decide if I want to read Ninth House or Words of Radiance, but obviously I will bring you along and keep you updated. But anywho, let's start reading. This is my progress so far. I've listened to probably like 6 chapters, but anywho, time for dinner. Okay, I have 2 updates. First, I am to about 30% now in Noticadia, which is 20% more than when I started this challenge, so we're making moves a little bit at least. So far I am really liking it, but I will say, I think I might have mentioned this in an earlier clip, so if I did, I'm sorry, but the plotline of this and the plotline of Ninth House are just similar enough that it is confusing me a little bit reading them at the same time. Like, they're both about people who are chosen to go to this like school because of, you know, mysterious and slightly supernatural circumstances, and that's about the only similarities they have, to be fair. But so far both of them is just setting up that academic plot line. Like, I haven't gotten anything unique necessarily yet, and so that's a little confusing, but I am liking it a lot. I don't really have a ton of thoughts. Like I said, I am liking it, especially more than I thought I would, but I do think I'm liking Ninth House more. That being said, I think tonight I'm going to read neither. I'm going to finally get back to Words of Radiance. I read like 300 pages maybe a week and a half ago, and I ended on a cliffhanger. Why did I do that? What made me think, yeah, this is a good spot to stop? Because it wasn't. Without spoilers, basically, there was a scene where they were like, ooh, and this bad thing happens. And then I just stopped reading. And then I haven't picked it up in like 2 weeks, so that's crazy. I think it's because with the Stormlight Archive books, I'm trying really hard to annotate them, at least a little bit. And I do find that a little exhausting. Like, I have to have time for a whole setup when I want to read them, you know what I mean? Whereas like something like this, like I can just read a little quick chapter on my Kindle if I feel like it. That being said, I do technically own Words of Radiance on my Kindle. I really have no excuses. Basically, the moral of the story is right now, I'm gonna lock in. I want to read at least 3 chapters of Words of Radiance, I think, before I go to sleep. And then I think my goal at work tomorrow is during my free time, I'm gonna read as much as Ninth House as possible. I originally thought I could finish it yesterday at work. And then I thought maybe I could finish it today. And you know what? So much stuff has happened that I just have not had time. Reading is a hard hobby because it is one of those hobbies that like you almost have to, well, I guess every hobby is like this, huh? You have to like fully dedicate yourself to it. Because like gaming, for example, it's not like you can just walk away from a game. Anyhow, the moral of the story is I thought I'd be a little further along than this. I'll update you tomorrow. I forgot another contender. Technically, I downloaded the new, like, you know how they did the like Valentine's novellas and then they did Christmas novellas? Well, this time they're doing Halloween novellas, and they just dropped, I think yesterday, and Allie Hazelwood's is downloaded on my Kindle, and I might need to read it. According to my Kindle, it's only a 3-hour read, so that might be my treat tomorrow. Oh wait, tomorrow's a bad day to read, guys. My husband and I are going to a double showing of Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. I'm stoked, but that does mean we'll see what happens. I mean, this is a low pressure challenge. I love this line so much. In my experience, words are where most change begins. Okay, it's 10 p.m., so I am in fact gonna go to bed. But I thought I'd update that I only read 25 pages. The Stormlight Archive is so weird because you can read for literally an hour and it's 25 pages. But it doesn't feel like that. Like, it feels like I've gotten so much substance. Like I just read for 10 years. I'm so obsessed. Also, I threw my phone or my book on the bed kind of heavy, and my dog jumped, she said. Anywho, I looked on Goodreads. I waited 9 days to read this again. That's crazy. I ended on that cliffhanger and then just sat on it for 9 days. I think it's because I started The Housemaid last week, so I'll take a little break for a thriller, you know what I mean?
Pierre Totem Locomotor.
Okay, if y'all don't get chills during this scene, you are lying. This is cinematic masterpiece moment right here, okay? Yeah, listen to that. Hello. Embarrassing story. The last time I updated, I think it was Wednesday night. It is now Sunday. Behind me is a pitch black house because our AC is still out. We think it is electrical, so our power is currently out, so we can fix the wiring. But all that to be said, I've not read pretty much since Wednesday. So there's been no updates because Thursday we went to Harry Potter. I think I put a clip in of that. Friday, I don't remember what I did Friday, but I can tell you it wasn't reading. Oh, I think we started working on the AC. And then yesterday I went to the farmer's market and then watched my husband play basketball, and then we played a video game, and my dog is chugging water. So if you hear that, I apologize. But yeah, so anyhow, I do hope I can get some reading done today and tomorrow. The goal is to have this video up by Tuesday. So I'm a little worried that I'm not going to meet my goal of finishing my TBR, but I'm close. Other than Words of Radiance, I think I'm over halfway with all of the books that I showed you at the beginning of this week. Okay, also not the Raven Scholar. I've been mostly reading Ninth House and Noticadia. That being said, though, the audiobook timer of Ninth House says I only have 2 hours left. That's very achievable. And then Noticadia, I think it said I had like 5 hours. So if I really hunker down today, I think I could finish both of those. And then, if I remember right, Words of Radiance has... Look at my dog. I heard her doing something and I was like, what the frick? She was getting in her toy bucket. Anyhow, I think Words of Radiance said it had about 8 hours left. So I don't know if we can get that one done. At least not in this video. I guess we'll see. Wish me luck, guys. Okay, I need to be honest. It is September 30th, which means it's Tuesday. And you know what I usually do? I post on Tuesdays. You know what's not going up on Tuesday? This video. And you want to know why? Because I haven't finished my September TBR. But I genuinely think that I can finish Ninth House today. I am devouring it. This part that I'm at right now is starting to get really good. I feel like we're finally getting some answers. So I think I'm gonna lock in this morning. The audiobook says I only have an hour's of reading left. So I'm gonna lock in, finish this. I think after that, I'm gonna read as much of Words of Radiance as possible today. Anywho, let's get reading. What just happened? This book is literally crazy. I am so happy that I have the second one already because I don't know that I can wait. But also, what do you mean that the third book just isn't out yet? This book is crazy. What the frick? What? I'm sorry. Oh my god. Okay, so I just finished Ninth House. You probably saw some of my live reactions to that ending, but oh my god, that was insane. I knew I was gonna like that book because a really, really good friend of mine, that's her favorite book. And we have pretty similar taste and like our personalities are like this, you know? But I didn't realize like how much I would love it. Like the vibes were just immaculate, okay? It was academia, it was fantasy, it was supernatural. It was like a murder mystery, but there was like tragedy and drama and like I said, supernatural. So like she's solving a murder mystery that may or may not have magic involved. And just, oh my gosh, it was so good. I'm really, really glad that I already have Hellbent because I fear I might have to pick this up like pretty much right now. I think I will go ahead and wait just a little bit, but this is definitely getting read like pretty much ASAP because that ending, like I mentioned, was literally crazy and I need her to release the third one ASAP because if this one ends anywhere close to the way the first one ends, Bizarre Bardugo, how are we expected to just wait? That being said, I have heard this one was less good than the first one, which makes me a little nervous. But that's okay, because it's just so good. I am so down bad obsessed with Dawes and Alex and Darlington. I love them. I especially love Dawes, though. I think right now she's my favorite character. I really, really like the way she transitions from kind of like moody, mysterious girl to like would literally die for her friends girl. Like by the end, she is so just like protective and strong, and I really, really loved watching that transformation. But anywho, gotta put this back because like I said, I will not be reading it probably anytime soon because if you saw my other video, I have a very ambitious TBR for the rest of the year. That being said, I did go ahead and pick up a little palette cleanser. I've been reading Hot for Slayer by Allie Hazelwood. This is one of those like, they did them a couple years ago for Christmas and Valentine's Day. They're like 6 novellas, I think, that Amazon always releases for the holidays. This time they did them for Halloween. I'm about over 50% through this. It's only like a 2-hour read, maybe. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure I like it. My problem is I am someone who has a lot of like traditional vampire lore knowledge, And I feel like Miss Allie just made up stuff, which I understand is supposed to be like a silly, goofy, giggly vampire book, and it's not necessarily supposed to be like, you know, Die Hard, follows the rules exactly, but there's just something about it that I can't get over. I just can't do it. Also, like, considering she's making up her own lore, but it's also only an hour-ish read, like I said, it's kind of weird because, I don't know, I just feel like there's no way this is going to be a complete story, and it's supposed to be a romance. And I'm 55% through, and so far the characters are like acting romantic, but not really. It's really hard to explain. I don't know. I think right now it'll be a 3-star. It's not bad, it's just I think my expectations were a little too high, because one of my favorite romances of all time is in fact between a vampire and a vampire slayer. So I had really high expectations, and maybe I should have lowered those a notch or two. That being said, I am currently waiting for my headphones to charge a little bit because I like to immersion read, but as soon as those babies are charged, I'm gonna get back to it. And then I think I might read some Noticadia. My audiobook says I have 4 hours left of that. I have 30 minutes left of this. So between those two, I think I could get 2 more stories in today. Let's kill it, guys. Or maybe I should have said let's slay it. Hello. I just have to be transparent with you. I just finished Hot for Slayer by Allie Hazelwood. It's the little novella that I was reading. What? And I fear that I disliked it so much it might have just put me, what do you need, baby? It might have just put me in a reading slump. So I think that's going to be a wrap on September. I think my total reads, I think I read 5 books. Let me go check. BRB. Okay, I just checked. I finished 6 books. I read Spells for Forgetting, Long Live Evil, The Housemaid, The Last Dragon, Ninth House, and then Hot for Slayer. And I would say overall it was a really good reading month. I did not finish my Cosmere read of the month, which is a little disappointing, but I think that I can finish it within the next couple of days. And I also didn't finish my other 3 books I really wanted to finish in this vlog. I really wanted to finish Raven Scholar, Noticadia, and I guess Words of Radiance is technically the 3rd. But you know what? We still finished a couple books and we are still thriving. And you know what? Reading is a journey, not a race. So, anywho, with that, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to catch you in the next one.